Back now with the panel, and yes, it's a good one. Amy Walter, the editor-in-chief of the Cook Political Report. We have Politico Playbook co-author Eugene Daniels here. Former North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory is joining us for the first time as an official NBC News contributor. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you very much.
And María Teresa Kumar is also an NBC contributor, and she's president of Voto Latino, but this is not your first rodeo with us. All right, I actually want you guys to, Brian, each party thinks they've identified the Achilles heel of the other party.
Yep.
Crime, Republicans hitting Democrats, abortion, Democrats hitting Republicans. So I want to look at the defenses. Here's how, in the three big races, how Democrats are handling the crime issue in debates and interviews in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. Take a listen.
I have supported our police officers. I've called them and I've prayed with their families, like those officers lost in Cobb County. One thing I have not done, I've never pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
140 officers injured, one crushed in a revolving door, another hit in the head with a fire extinguisher, another stab with a metal stake. So this talk about support for law enforcement, it's not real.
We funded the police. And created a strong partnership between the police and the community. So I'm the only candidate that I'm actually running on my record on crime, whereas Dr. Oz has never done anything about crime except going around and running a bunch of commercials lying about my record.
You know, Amy, what's interesting to me is that there are three different ways that they are handling the crime attacks there, right? Mandela Barnes going to January 6th, Warnock sort of hitting a little bit at Walker, and then Fetterman going, hey, I was a mayor.
Right, I've actually been, which is consistent also with their themes of their campaigns, right? In Wisconsin, it's Ron Johnson's not who you think he is, or he's looking out for interests that are not your own. He says he's protecting you, he's really looking out for himself, or in the case when law enforcement needed his help, he wasn't providing it. So it's part of a bigger, stronger theme. But Democrats have known that the crime issue was a challenge for them since the very beginning of this election. They talked about it a lot after 2020. Right. The very first ads run in a special election in New Mexico, special election for the House in a very Democratic seat. What did the Democratic do? One of her first ads was having sheriffs and police officers standing behind her. So they've been playing defense on this for quite some time, and they're hoping that in the last few weeks of this election, people are going to be spending as much time looking at the weaknesses of their Republican opponents than on the challenges that they have.
Eugene, who's done this best? I feel like Warnock's been more aggressive at inoculation here, really, than Fetterman and Barnes, which may be why those two races are close.
Yeah, I think Warnock, right? When you look at Warnock, his ability to stick to his guns, so to speak, on this issue, and it, as Amy was saying, it connects with everything else that he's been talking about, right? When he said, I call and I pray, that is a reminder to people that I'm a reverend at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, right? That is a callback, and it's on purpose. And that is one of the reasons why he has been winning the whole time, even before the abortion allegations for Walker, he has been winning this race, and that's where that's going to continue.
María Teresa, Mandela Barnes has, I think, arguably you could have seen this coming. He didn't do as much inoculation as Warnock did.
He didn't, but I do think that he was reminding folks in his last debate, I don't think enough people watched, but in his last debate, the difference between he and Ron Johnson. One of the conversations we're not having is that this is an opportunity for the Democrats to own police enforcement. And I say this because Ron Johnson on that stage said that the FBI was planting evidence against him. And he's talking about the larger picture of when the FBI went into Mar-a-Lago and, legally took away all of President Trump's archives. And all of a sudden, these Republicans and Republican leadership flipped on him and said it was an FBI sting job. That is not the party of law enforcement. And if anything, it's undermining a really basic institution.
But let's be also...
But I also think...
Can I just say one thing? Let's really clear, like, Fetterman and in the race, why am I blanking on our candidate? But yes, thank you. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, they both have records that are liberal, and they can be used to make them look out of state.
I want to bring
random.
Pat in here because we had a mass shooting in Raleigh over the last 3 days, and you and I were talking before the show. You said, what's been interesting is you haven't seen Sherry Beasley, the Democratic nominee. She hasn't hit Bud on guns or some of these things where maybe there's some vulnerability.
Well, as a former mayor, it's one of the issues I ran on for 14 years as Mayor of Charlotte. And I split crime into three areas. One is the riots, mainly by anarchists who want to destroy things, the small groups. And at the time, Republicans had the upper hand. You know, Kamala Harris and the Hollywood. Kamala Harris, that's what I'm about to bring up. Okay. Kamala Harris and them were bailing out, Hollywood stars bailing out rioters who are burning down police stations. But then January 6th, Trump wants to pardon rioters who attack police. We break even on that. Then we have the mass shootings. I'm shocked that the Democrats aren't bringing up guns, but everyday crime, the Democrats are on their heels, and they deserve to be on their heels. On what you look at in cities in L.A., San Francisco, my own city, the Democrats are weak on DAs and enforcing crime.
We could keep going on crime, but I want to pivot to the Achilles heel issue on the other side, and it is abortion. Here's some answers how Walker, Johnson, and Oz are handling the abortion issue.
I said, I'm a Christian, but I'm also representing the people of Georgia, and that's who I represent. So what the people of Georgia stand for, I'm going to stand with them.
I proposed a one-time, single-issue referendum to decide at what point does society have the responsibility to protect life.
I'm giving you a bigger answer than yes or no. I'm telling you I don't want any federal rules limiting what states do with abortion. It should be up to the states.
Eugene, we're all over the place here. Even think of Evan McMullin kind of like, maybe I'll do something. I mean, nobody knows on this issue what to do if you're on what was originally the pro-life side of this issue.
Right. That was always going to happen. We talked about this on Meet the Press last year when we were talking about this issue, and it was very clear that they had caught the car. They were going to catch the car, and what was going to happen after. And this is what happens, kind of this hodgepodge of different ideas of what voters might want to hear at that time. Yeah. And, you know, when you look at abortion versus economy versus crime versus, this is a very choose-your-own-adventure election,
Isn't
right?
it?
People can just pick and choose whatever they want, even within the issue themselves.
The 5 swing voters, what do you think they care about? Crime or abortion?
Right. Although what we're seeing, too, the Kaiser Foundation had polling on this that found if you're in a state with abortion restrictions, you are much more motivated than if you're in a state that doesn't. And so if you're in a traditional blue state, Oregon, California, et cetera, you're less motivated by it than some of these other states.
I'm just going to pause the discussion. We're going to come right back. Up next, though, why the state of Wisconsin best represents our deep divide that plays out in our national politics. Little taste of my reporting from the ground and what's driving the red and blue divisions in a state that I like to call patient zero for polarization.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.